Darkness. Silence. Then a single breath. Ethan's lungs burned as he gasped, consciousness slamming back into him like a crashing wave. His body was weightless, floating in a void of shifting memories, fragments of reality breaking apart and reforming around him. He was neither awake nor asleep, neither alive nor dead. He was in between. A voice echoed in the emptiness. You were never supposed to remember. The words were not spoken aloud, but rather imprinted directly into his thoughts. Ethan turned, but there was nothing. Just the vast, infinite blackness stretching beyond reason. Then, the darkness rippled, coalescing into a shape. A figure emerged, a mirror image of himself. But its eyes were hollow, voids that consumed all light. "Who are you?" Ethan demanded. The figure's lips curled into a knowing smile. "I am the version of you that obeyed." A cold dread settled in Ethan's chest. This wasn't just a hallucination. It wasn't a trick. This was the organization's final weapon, a safeguard against those who strayed too close to the truth. Himself. The memories came rushing back. The erased files, the forbidden door, the rewritten past. He had discovered everything. The organization's control over reality was absolute, shaping the world as they saw fit, bending history to their will. And he had been part of it, a willing participant. "No, Ethan whispered. I never obeyed. I fought back." The doppelganger tilted its head. "And yet here you are, suspended between what was and what will be. Do you really think you're in control?" The void trembled. Cracks formed in the space around them, revealing glimpses of other realities. Cities that had never been built. People who had never been born. A timeline where Ethan had never questioned the organization, where he had remained a loyal enforcer of their will. It was all unraveling. The experiment had never ended because Ethan himself was the experiment. He clenched his fists. "No more." The doppelganger sighed. "You think you have a choice? You were programmed to reach this moment. Every step you took, every decision you made, it was all calculated. The illusion of free will was your greatest weakness. And now it ends?" Ethan felt something pulling at him, his body disintegrating as the void sought to rewrite him once more. But something deep within him resisted. A memory, buried under layers of manipulation, surfaced. A face, a voice, someone who had told him to remember who he was. "Voss," he murmured. The name was a tether, anchoring him to what was real. He had an ally. He was not alone. The cracks widened. The void screamed in protest. The doppelganger's expression shifted, for the first time showing something resembling fear. Ethan reached deep into his mind, grasping onto his true self, the self that had fought, resisted, refused to be controlled. The organization had spent years breaking him, reshaping him, but they had failed. He had seen through the lies, and now he was going to tear it all down. The void collapsed. Light. Blinding, searing light. Ethan gasped as he woke up, back in the facility, alarms blaring. Voss was shaking him. "Ethan, get up. We have to move." His mind was sharp, clearer than ever before. He knew what he had to do. He had to end the organization. He had to end the rewriting of reality. For the first time, he was truly awake. And this time he would not forget. But the battle was far from over. As Ethan stumbled to his feet, the walls of the facility shimmered, as if reality itself was uncertain. The alarms intensified, a distorted siren wailing through the halls. Voss pulled him forward. "They know you broke through. We need to get to the control room before they reprogram you again." Ethan's heart pounded. He knew the organization wouldn't let him walk away that easily. They had contingencies, fail-safes in place to erase his mind completely if necessary. His hands curled in a fist as they rushed through the dim corridors. Every door they passed flickered, changing from steel to wood to nothingness before stabilizing again. The system was breaking apart. A distant voice rang out from the intercom, mechanical and devoid of emotion. "Subject number 042 detected. Initiating full reset." Ethan and Voss sprinted faster. A countdown began. 10 seconds. The facility's walls pulsed, a sickly red glow emanating from the cracks. He could feel the reality shift beneath his feet. "We have to shut it down," Voss shouted. They burst into the control room, filled with endless monitors displaying every possible version of Ethan's life. A console in the center flickered, the reset sequence engaged. He had mere seconds. Ethan slammed his hands onto the control panel. His reflection in the screen wasn't his own. It was the doppelganger, staring back, grinning. "You think you can stop the inevitable?" It sneered. He gritted his teeth. "Watch me." His fingers danced over the keyboard, bypassing the security measures the organization had set. He had been part of this system for too long. He knew its weaknesses. As the final second ticked down, he entered a command, overriding the reset protocol. The facility trembled violently, the illusion of stability shattering. The doppelganger's face twisted in rage before disappearing into static. The countdown stopped. Silence. Then, the facility exploded into light. A new reality began to form around him, one he was shaping by sheer willpower alone. Ethan stood in the center of it all, breathless. For the first time, the organization had lost control, and he was free.